Oh my god, what the hell did I just read? What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'll be giving my spoiler-free review of The Night House by Jo Nesbo, his standalone horror novel published last September, and most people will know of his writing from the Harry Hole Scandinavian detective series, which I haven't read those myself, but look, I picked this book up. It looked interesting. The plot summary looked alright, and I thought I'd give it a go. But I still don't know quite how I feel about it. But let's start how I always like to, with what the book is about, taken from the cover. In the wake of his parents' tragic deaths in a house fire, 14-year-old Richard Eleved has been sent to live with his aunt and uncle in the remote insular town of Ballantyne. Richard quickly earns a reputation as an outcast, and then, when a classmate named Tom goes missing, everyone suspects the new angry boy and is responsible for his disappearance. No one believes him when he says the telephone booth out by the edge of the woods sucked Tom into the receiver, like something out of a horror movie. No one, that is, except Karen, a beguiling fellow outsider who encourages Richard to pursue clues the police refuse to investigate. He traces the number that Tom prank called from the phone booth to an abandoned house in Black Mirror Wood. There he catches a glimpse of a terrifying face in the window, and then the voices begin to whisper in his ear. "You know who I am. She's going to burn. The one you love is going to burn. There's not a thing you can do about it." When another classmate disappears, Richard must find a way to prove his innocence and preserve his sanity as he grapples with the dark magic that is possessing Ballantyne and pursuing his destruction. Then again, Richard may not be the most reliable narrator of his own story. Alright, so guys, the book is made up of three main parts. Part one throws you into the story with the mystery of Tom's disappearance and the ramifications of that, and the blame that Richard receives because he is an actual outsider. But Karen believes him, and just before things start to really get out of hand, he is taken away and placed in juvie because the evidence, or lack thereof, causes the local authorities to act, and they have to do something, and they decide to put him away for a little while in a detention centre. Now, he eventually comes back to Ballantyne, and that is when the unimaginable horrors escalate, and it's all linked to this ominous night house in the woods, which is as creepy as F. And this particular part ends on a thrilling climax. It's really nail-biting, and I thought to myself, if this is the main story, I'm only halfway through. What gives? But we flash forward in part two, 15 years later, and this is where you realise that the events that Richard experienced as a kid may only be fiction. Now, I can't spoil anything here, but in part two you get to relax a little bit because everything seems okay in the present with a class reunion, and it's a party atmosphere and everyone's all chill and celebrating, and just when you get comfortable, Nesbo throws you down a goddamn rabbit hole, and that makes you question everything. And then in part three you get yanked in another direction altogether, and you think, what the hell is this? And by then it's too late to DNF it. Just kidding. But yeah, you just cannot help but find out how it ends. Now, the book overall was quite interesting and frightening. There were times where nothing is as it seems, and some events will absolutely shock you to your core. But the graphic imagery was incredible, and the tension was always cranked up, and the story was pretty engaging despite my confusion in a couple of parts of it. But look, at 263 pages it was a very quick read, and the pacing was really great. But I just don't know how I feel about it. It was good, but a little bit surprised at the direction that Nesbo took with the narrative. And look, the writing was excellent, but I smashed this in 2 days, not even 2 days, 2 sittings, and the pages just kept turning themselves. But if you haven't read this one yourself, please pick it up and let me know what you think. Let's compare notes. And I'm very interested in what other people think of this book, because there are decisions made that are fairly radical, and overall it was a good book, but left me a little bit confused because the decisions that Nesbo makes are really, really out there, and nothing is what it seems. But thank you very much for watching. Only a short review today, but offer up any comments as per usual, and if you like and subscribe to the channel, I'll promise to deliver the best content I can. But until the next video, guys, happy reading.